Professor James Allen is the Garrick Professor of Law at the University of Queensland. He raised a very good point about the integrity of journalists and the bias that's at work in much of what is dished out to us. I'll get to America in a moment. But James Allen writes, and I quote, "The wokest places in Australia, with the possible exceptions of big Sydney law firms, any ABC studio, and the administrative headquarters of the AFL." Now, we know they're all hopelessly woke, Sydney law firms, corporations, sporting bodies, but he nails the most woke, where the damage is done, and he says, and I quote, "our uni campuses." Now, of course, I would add classrooms. James Allen writes, "One spends 4 years getting a degree where many students never hear a conservative point of view on anything, and where all the latest American identity politics fads are de rigueur, which basically means commonplace." James Allen is right, and remember, he's in the thick of this university indoctrination. The conservative view is not only rarely heard in academic circles, be it school or university, but in the world of journalism, and I'm not one, thankfully, I'm a broadcaster. In the world of journalism, you're cancelled, writes James Allen, and bear with me, I'm coming to an important point. James Allen writes, "I can also point readers to various US surveys of the esteem in which today's journalists are held." And he takes the representative Gallup Poll from earlier this year, which asked respondents about their take on the honesty and ethics of all sorts of occupations. Journalists came in near the very bottom. I might add just below lawyers and a bit ahead of telemarketers and car salesmen. But here's the key point, the American survey. For Democrats, 41% had a high or very high view of the honesty and ethics of journalists. For Republicans, 11? It was 9%. Which brings us to what I've been talking to Peggy about. The House of Representatives now controlled by the Republicans and their investigations into the weaponisation of the Department of Justice and the FBI against Donald Trump.